Hello, this is Sebastian with another edition of App Review Analysis. This is the 2 days before Thanksgiving, so I'm going to call this the Thanksgiving edition. And this is day 4 of the series. We've done about four weeks so far, 1 day per week. And what we're going to do today is take a look at app reviews for the Trello Android application. And why would we do that? Why are we interested in this? We're interested in looking at the qualitative user feedback that Android users for the Trello application give back to the Trello team on Google Play. And we want to find trends and patterns and find all the good bugs and all the good feature requests that will lead to an even better application rating and, more importantly, lead to an even better application. And as I've explained on previous days, why we're looking at the Trello Android application is it's something that I use on a daily basis. I like. You probably know about Trello as well, so it gives us a common basis. And we've looked at, in previous streams, maybe 10, 15 reviews at a time. We'll try to go even faster today and speed up the process. So we might not go into as great detail allowed as we might in previous streams. But we'll spend about 20 minutes total walking through each one of the reviews and taking a look at what customers are saying and thinking through, how do we categorize and analyze each one of these customers' problems and then in turn, later on, how can we think about solutions for those types of problems? So for now, we'll start with some of the older Trello reviews. I think the last one that I had was from last month. So from one that you see on the screen is from October 22nd. It's a 2-star review, and we'll go from there. And we'll target this to be about 20 minutes, and then we'll wrap things up. So this will be the Thanksgiving Day app review analysis. And so this one's kind of interesting. This review is in another language. Looks like Russian, maybe. So I'm going to open up Google Translate in another browser. I speak Spanish and English natively, but for Russian, not so much. So let's see if we can translate this and get some feedback from it. So I'm trying to copy and paste this guy right here. And it doesn't look like that's working. So I'm going to go actually into my database where I usually have this information. And so this is, let's see what, this is 1123 in my database. So yeah, let me pull this information up so I can easily just run a quick Google Translate. So translating or analyzing a language that you don't understand is not necessarily ideal. We'll work with it and do the best we can, but again, yes, English and Spanish are great. If you have a lot of reviews that aren't in English and Spanish, you probably want to find somebody, or I can work with somebody that actually speaks those native languages, because there's such nuances that you have within 200 characters, 300 characters, and I've noticed time and time again when other people have viewed, for example, reviews and analysis, or review feedback in Spanish, for example, and somebody saw the Google translation of that, and then I compared that to actually what's actually there, it can be pretty striking in terms of the differences. So, but we'll work with this. So we're looking at this text, and so the English version of this text, I'll read this out loud. So let me go back to this Russian text right here. It says, why, when switching to another window, the text is typed in Trello is lost. Even an incoming call erases everything is written. I've not seen such garbage in any other application. So Google Translate picked up this pretty quickly. And I would chalk this up to CardState. So this is a previous issue that we had where this is a development lifecycle issue where we would assume that whatever text was typed into a card, if the user navigates to a different screen or window, or they receive a call, as this user mentioned, they would the previously typed information would be there. So We'll tag this entire response up into CardState, and I'm going to assign this a lost stars value. So the user left a 2-star rating. So in this case, we lost 3 stars. So I'm going to go into my back end over here and give this 3 lost stars. Let me refresh the screen over here so you'll see this is 3 lost stars for this CardState. And we can go in, we can find out more information about saved CardState. Oh, sorry. Give you one second. Hello?
Hi, Sebastian available today.
Yeah.
Hi, Sebastian. Mr. FedEx calling. Your package is available for pickup at the 1957 Market Street.
Great. Yeah, I'll head over there in a couple minutes.
Okay,
Thank you. Bye. Sorry for the live stream interruption. I usually wouldn't do that, but since this is a Turkey Day stream, I am having a turkey delivered, so I need to go pick it up in a couple minutes. And so I was keeping track of that. It's a really important turkey since it will feed 15 people, so I have to make sure I pick it up properly. But we'll go on to the next review. So this is 1124. We'll pop this open. This is a 5-star review. The user loves it. Oh, but they left some feature requests. So this will be fun. So they said feature requests. Please add an easier way to move checkpoints in a checklist around for mobile. Same as normal boards tasks. As currently, the only way to do that, mainly changing each checkpoint, is extremely time consuming. Edit, never mind, just found it. Awesome app for task handling. All right. I still think there's some information here that could be helpful. And in this case, I would count this as help. So we have actually there's a number of things that we've found over the last 150 reviews that we've looked at, and users are having trouble with things that they can probably find out pretty easily, but maybe they are having some difficulty for one reason or another. And so this is important for the product team to know about this. And so I'll go into the emulator really quickly. So let me pull up the emulator on the side over here. And I assume this user is talking about when you go into a card, you can add a checklist over here. And, checklist item 1, checklist item 2. And I assume they're talking about rearranging the items in the checklist. And, how do you do that immediately? Like, I guess we'd have to find out, is that even possible? To move checkpoints in a checklist around for mobile devices. So I wasn't able to figure out immediately. Like I highlighted the item. I keep getting that. And I'm also on an emulator too. So it might make it, there might be a special tap. Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. So I'm sure there's a way. Maybe there's a longer tap or a longer press. If I was using a physical device, it might be easier, but I wasn't able to figure it out. So I think this is worthwhile feedback. The user does need help. There's no lost rating here, but this is something we should flag up to the product team. So we'll go to the next review. This is a 2-star rating. And so the user mentioned, this is from Annie. The user mentioned, since the last update, I'm experiencing issues viewing cards while scrolling up and down my lists. Some of them are displayed as gray empty windows instead, or are displaying the wrong pictures. It's quite annoying, to be honest. I really hope this gets fixed soon. Okay. Since the last update, I'm experiencing issues viewing cards while scrolling up and down my lists. So if we go to the emulator, let's get out of this card. So let's say there's a number of cards up this list. And it sounds like the user's having trouble seeing the cards. Maybe they're empty items, or if there's an image attached to one of these items, one of these cards. Just saying, I think we should be able to attach an image, right? I guess we can't necessarily take a photo. Or I guess on the new emulators we can. But okay, so you're just having trouble with this. I haven't seen this before. It sounds like a bug. As a mobile developer, it sounds like maybe the logic for refreshing the card views is having some trouble. We haven't seen this before, right? We haven't seen any users mention this. So this could be a new bug. And in this case, I'd probably want to make a new issue for this. So we'd say, I'm going to go into my backend really quickly. And we're going to go to issue. And we're going to call this issue, we'll call this using cards while scrolling up and down. Some of the items are great. Empty windows instead are displaying the wrong picture. So I'd say that like cards displaying wrong, cards empty or displaying wrong info. So, and the summary for this issue would be the user cannot, while viewing the list, the user cannot see, the user sees gray cards or wrong information in the card. And we'll call this card empty or wrong for the label. So we'll go in, we'll refresh the screen, and we should have this new tag, this new issue that we created, card empty or wrong. And I think it's pertinent information to mention that this is happening since the latest update. Oops. And we'll add that here. We'll save these tag changes, and we'll give this is 3 lost stars for this issue. One of my favorite issues as an Android developer is issues related to older Android OSs. It's because, and it doesn't have to be older Android OS. Like sometimes you get just really old hardware too, and you find a lot of really fun bugs, especially dealing with these, really much slower hardware, much older OS, and that issue could definitely be related to that. So we'll go in here. This is a 2-star review from Renata. I cannot log into my account. There's not much context here, but we do have an issue open for a number of users who cannot log in. My mouse is behaving very funny. I apologize. So we'll chalk this up to that same issue. We're going to reload our database, and we'll update this issue. So the user gave it, this will be a 3 stars for I cannot log in. And this is a pretty broad issue, right? It could be a technical, it could be a product issue, it could be engineering, or it could be something else for a lot of these. There were some details in some of the other issues that were left, but when you see that many issues with users having difficulty logging in, you need to have some type of approach, or you need to tackle this somehow. So this is pretty straightforward. The user wants a dark theme, and we've seen a number of users request this. I believe in Android it is called dark mode. So we set that, and we lost, Trello team lost a star for this. So we'll go in, we'll update that. So again, we'll refresh this page just so you can see it. And you should see a lost star down there for 1. So we'll go here for the next issue. And we're moving pretty quickly. These are pretty straightforward. We've had some real doozies in previous streams. This is a 5-star review. Nothing's extraordinary about this 5-star review, so we'll move on. And this user from Samuel gave a 5-star. I love Zap so much. At Trello, I can organize my work in a clean way. Another great 5-star review. Nothing to flag here. We'll continue on. This is Kevin with a 1-star. One of my fastest uninstall ever. Cards? ? Okay, this is a tough user to please. In this case, my gut would tell me we would want to ask more info. I think we'd want to include everything, right? Like, why was the user so quick to uninstall? What did they not like? Was this a marketing issue or not marketing this app correctly? There's some disconnect between what the users found when they opened the app and what they maybe expected. In this case, I want to have more info. So I'd want to follow up with this user, and so we'll tag it with the appropriate card. And in this case, it's pretty sad, but you can lose 4 stars without the user even really using your app. But that's the way the Play Store goes. So we'll go to the next one. We're speeding through. I have to pick up my turkey after this. So this is from, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. I'm not sure what character set this is in. I should probably know, but I don't. The user left 4 stars. Nice one. But they didn't leave a 5th star. So for this type of issue, we typically chop this up to a missing stars tag. And that means that the user left positive feedback, but not 5 stars. And maybe we could follow up with the user. We could try to understand why they didn't leave 5 stars, even though they left very positive feedback. And let's go into our backend, and we'll say they're missing 1 star here. So we'll keep going. We're motoring through these. And the next issue that we have is from Rule. It's a 5-star, excellent app for productivity. I enjoyed using it thoroughly. Not only did it help me keep track of my tasks, but I can also put any notes that I want on my boards. Overall, great app. I would chalk that up to a 5-star review and to a highlight. So if I really like a review and I think this is going to make the development team really happy, and if the product team and development team takes a look at this review, they're going to be smiling. I want to highlight that review for the team. And so I will do that. Because when you're looking at such negative reviews a lot, you gotta do whatever you can to put a smile to your face. So I added that to the back end, so the team, if the Trello team's looking at this from the main summary page, they can see all the great 5-star reviews. So this users need improvements in widgets, and it would be great if we could get a dark mode. They gave a 5-star, so Kumar is happy. But there are some things we can do. So dark mode, and then widgets. Man, I don't know why my Mac booked mouse sometimes does that in terms of launching the dictionary. I should know, right? I've used Macs for 25 years. So for needs improvements in widgets, and I think we have a couple widgets issues. Just looking for it. So we have a general one for widgets. And this is a general issue because some users want more widgets. And I would assume this user wants more widgets because of the Android application for Trello only has a couple widgets. The website has a lot more. But yeah, we'll mark that as just the general widget features. And there wasn't much context that the user helped us out with, but you know, at least we started somewhere. So this is a 5-star. Excuse me. This is 5 stars, so we didn't lose any stars off this. So I marked those both at 0. Let's continue on to the next review. Next review is from Luis. And Luis says, a fantastic app. I believe this is Portuguese, but no Spanish, that's close. And so I highly recommend it. Good review, we'll move on. And this is from a Google user. And I don't know what language this is in. Could be spam? We'll see. So I'll type this into Google, translate in another window, and see what we get off this. So this is 1135. Let me go back into my backend and pull up 1135. You're always learning. I'm always learning. So this says Vietnamese, Google thinks. And so this could be spam. So the translation is Web 5 Day brought me here. And you know, I would assume I don't know what Web 5 Day is. Kind of scared to Google it. But Web 5 Day. Maybe it's like a YouTube site. Okay, I'm just looking at another tab. I would assume this is spam. Most users don't talk about how they got to an app, unless it's critically important. I don't think we've actually seen any spam on this, and I'm surprised it wasn't removed. Let's actually go to the review because I bet this was removed. So I'm opening. I pressed the View in Google tab, and so this hasn't been removed. I'm surprised. I assume nobody at Trello flagged it because it is a 5-star. But I'm gonna make a card for spam called spam, and we'll have anything that's related to advertisements, any review that should probably be removed. I think you know, we'll want to tag it as a spam issue. But from what I've seen, if spam's left as a 5-star, typically a developer or operator really won't put in the extra effort to report it. But if it's less than 5 stars, yes, they'll definitely report it. So we'll have a general issue called spam. Review is spam, or I'll just call it review is spam and should be, and violates the Play Store review policy. So this does violate the Play Store review policy, I would assume. But no lost stars, no lost tiers. It's not going to get reported. Let's mark this guy. Oops. And the UI looks a little funky. I did increase the font size before I started the stream. At a normal font size, things are spaced a little bit more appropriately. But I've noticed in a couple of the prior streams that the font was kind of small for broadcasting and displaying it. And so that's why the UI spacing looks a little off. Let's go into our feedback issue over here. And since we marked it as a spam, we'll give it a 0 star. We'll keep going. So we have enough time for one more review. Then I got to go pick up that bird at the store. FedEx has been notifying me on its delivery from the farm. And so this is a 5-star review. Great. I use it for all my projects. So let's start. We'll stop at 1137 in our ID. I'll make a note of that. And thank you for joining for the Turkey Day review analysis marathon, which is actually one of our shortest review sessions yet. I noticed I tend to have quite a bit more energy at 30 minutes. When I'm doing it for an hour straight, my energy can definitely falter a little bit, at least when it's displayed for the public. When I'm motoring through them, though, I'm a machine. But for talking them out loud, I think about 30 minutes is enough to hold your attention and my attention. So we'll stop it there. If you have any questions, don't feel afraid or to reach out, and happy to talk about reviews for any application that you are working on or know of. I'm using Trello. I think it's a pretty cool application. The reviews have been interesting. But if there's anything else that you want to see, drop me a line, and happy to customize the content. And again, I'll plan to stream next week. I've been trying to stream Wednesdays, but I know today Wednesday is a little tougher, especially if you're in the US. So I decided to go a day earlier on Tuesday. But yeah, happy to start Wednesday at lunch next week. See you then.